Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of English Cat, your favorite place to practice your English listening skills. I am Emma.
And I am Jake. We are so happy you are here with us today. Grab a cup of coffee or tea, sit back, and relax. Today, we have a very fun and relatable topic to talk about.
That is right, Jake. Today we are talking about weekends. Everyone loves the weekend, right? It is that magical time of the week when we can finally stop working, stop studying, and just breathe.
Oh, I live for the weekend, Emma. As soon as Friday afternoon arrives, my mood completely changes. I feel lighter, happier, and ready to enjoy life.
Me too, Jake. But it is interesting because everyone uses their weekend differently. Some people like to do absolutely nothing, while others fill their weekend with activities. Why do you think weekends are so special for us?
Well, I think the main reason is freedom. During the week, from Monday to Friday, our time belongs to someone else. We have to go to work, we have to attend classes, and we have to follow a strict schedule. We wake up early because we have to, not because we want to.
Exactly. It is all about routine and obligations during the week. You have an alarm clock screaming at you at 6 or 7 in the morning. You have deadlines. You have meetings. But on the weekend, you own your time. You are the boss of your day.
The boss of your day. I love that expression. And as the boss of my day, my first decision on Saturday morning is usually to stay in bed.
Yes, sleeping in is one of the best parts of the weekend. For our listeners who might not know that phrase, to sleep in means to stay in bed and sleep later than you usually do. So, if you usually wake up at 7, sleeping in might mean waking up at 9 or 10.
It is the ultimate luxury, Emma. There is no better feeling than waking up, looking at the clock, realizing it is Saturday, and closing your eyes again. You do not have to rush.
I agree. But you know what is funny? Sometimes my body forgets that it is the weekend. Do you ever experience that, Jake? Your alarm is off, but your eyes just pop open at 7 in the morning anyway?
Oh, that is the worst. It feels like a trick. Your brain is still stuck in weekday mode. It takes a few minutes to realize, hey, wait a minute, I can go back to sleep.
Yes. But even if I cannot go back to sleep, I still enjoy the slow pace. On weekdays, everything is fast. You run to the shower, you quickly eat a piece of toast, and you run out the door. On the weekend, everything slows down.
That slow pace is exactly what helps us recharge our batteries. We hear that phrase a lot, don't we? To recharge your batteries. It just means to get your energy back after working hard. If we do not recharge, we get burned out.
Definitely. Burnout is real, and it is dangerous. That is why weekends are not just a luxury. They are necessary for our mental health. We need that contrast between weekdays and weekends. If every day were a weekend, it would not feel special anymore.
That is a deep thought, Emma. The hard work during the week makes the weekend taste sweeter. It is like eating a delicious dessert after a long, healthy meal.
That is a perfect analogy, Jake. I think another reason weekends are special is that they allow us to connect with the people we love. During the week, we are too tired to socialize. We just want to come home and watch television. But on the weekend, we actually have the energy to see friends and family.
True. Though I must admit, sometimes I am so tired from the week that my perfect weekend involves zero human contact. Just me, my couch, and my favorite video games.
And there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. That is the beauty of the weekend. There is no right or wrong way to spend it. If you want to go to a party, great. If you want to stare at a wall, also great.
I am very good at staring at walls, Emma. It is my hidden talent. But seriously, it is all about balance. Some weekends I want to be active, and some weekends I want to be a couch potato.
A couch potato. That is another classic English idiom. A couch potato is a lazy person who spends a lot of time sitting on the couch, watching television or doing nothing. We all have couch potato moments, right?
Oh, definitely.
Especially when the weather is bad. If it is raining outside on a Saturday, that is an official invitation from the universe to be a couch potato. I love rainy weekends for that exact reason. It removes all the guilt. If it is beautiful and sunny outside, you feel pressure to go out and do things. You think, oh, I should go for a walk, I should exercise. But when it rains, you can stay inside with a blanket and feel completely fine about it.
Yes, the weather really dictates our weekend plans. But regardless of the weather, the feeling of Friday night is universal. Friday night is like the gateway to freedom. Even though Friday is technically a workday, the evening feels different. The whole weekend is ahead of you. It is full of possibilities.
Friday night is full of hope. Saturday is the peak of the weekend because you know you still have Sunday. But Sunday, well, Sunday carries a little bit of anxiety sometimes, doesn't it?
Ah, the classic Sunday scaries. We will definitely talk more about that later. But you are right. Friday night and Saturday are the golden hours of the week. You feel rich with time.
Exactly. And how we spend those golden hours really defines our lifestyle. Some people plan every hour of their weekend. They have a schedule for Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon, Saturday night. I am a bit like that. I like to have a plan.
Really? I am the exact opposite, Emma. I hate planning my weekend. If I make too many plans, the weekend starts to feel like work. I prefer to just wake up and see how I feel. If I feel like going to a cafe, I go. If I feel like sleeping for another hour, I do.
I can respect that, Jake. But for me, if I do not plan, the weekend just disappears. I wake up, I look at my phone, and suddenly it is Sunday night, and I wonder, where did the time go? Planning helps me make sure I actually do the things that make me happy.
Well, Emma, speaking of waking up and how we start our days, let us talk about weekend mornings. This is where the weekend really begins for most of us. As I mentioned, I love to sleep in. What is your typical Saturday morning routine?
Even though I like to plan, I still don't set an alarm on Saturday. I usually wake up naturally around 8 in the morning. The first thing I do is stay in bed for about 15 minutes, just checking my phone, reading the news, or watching a funny video.
15 minutes? That is very disciplined. I can easily spend an hour scrolling on my phone in bed on a Saturday morning. It is a terrible habit, I know, but it feels so good.
It is easy to fall into that trap, but I get hungry, so my stomach usually forces me to get out of bed. And for me, weekend breakfast is a big deal. On weekdays, I just have a quick bowl of cereal or a banana, but on Saturday, I like to make a proper breakfast.
Oh, tell me more. What is a proper weekend breakfast for you?
I love making pancakes, or maybe eggs, toast, and avocado, and of course, a large cup of coffee. I put on some nice, relaxing music in the kitchen, and I take my time cooking. I don't rush. I sit down at the table and enjoy every single bite.
That sounds lovely. For me, the ultimate weekend breakfast is going out to a cafe for brunch. Brunch is that wonderful meal that is a combination of breakfast and lunch. You usually eat it around 11 in the morning or noon.
Brunch is fantastic. What do you like to order when you go out for brunch?
I am a big fan of Eggs Benedict, or a big breakfast plate with sausages, mushrooms, and toast. And a lot of coffee. Coffee is essential. Going out for brunch is great because you get delicious food, but you do not have to wash any dishes afterwards.
That is the best part. No dishes. Because unfortunately, weekend mornings are also the time when we have to face reality. And by reality, I mean chores.
Ugh, do we have to talk about chores, Emma? You are ruining the weekend vibe.
I know, but it is a big part of what we do on weekends. A chore is a routine task, especially a household one, like cleaning, washing clothes, or doing the dishes. Since we don't have time during the week, Saturday morning is often cleaning time.
That is true. My apartment usually looks like a disaster zone by Friday night. Clothes on the floor, papers on the table. So Saturday morning, after my coffee, I have to do some cleaning. I put on my headphones, play some high energy music, and start vacuuming.
Music is the secret to cleaning. It makes it feel like less of a chore. I do the same thing. I dust the furniture, clean the bathroom, and put on a load of laundry. It takes about an hour, but when it is finished, I feel so much better. A clean house gives you a clean mind.
I agree. It is hard to relax when you are surrounded by mess. Once the cleaning is done, then comes the next big weekend activity, grocery shopping. Do you do your shopping on the weekend too?
I do. I usually go to the local supermarket on Saturday morning. It can be quite busy because everyone else has the same idea, but I like to stock up on food for the coming week. I make a list so I don't forget anything.
Making a list is very smart. I never make a list, Emma. I just walk down the aisles and grab whatever looks good. Consequently, I always end up with a cart full of snacks, chocolates, and frozen pizza, but no real ingredients to make a healthy dinner.
Jake, that is exactly why you need a list. If you go shopping while hungry and without a list, you are in danger. You will buy everything in the bakery section.
It is so true. I am powerless against the bakery section. The smell of fresh bread is my weakness. But grocery shopping is just one of those errands we have to do. An errand is a short trip to do something, like going to the bank, post office, or supermarket.
Exactly. Saturday mornings are for errands. But once the errands and chores are finished, that is when the real weekend begins. By Saturday afternoon, you can finally relax and do what you actually want to do.
Yes. That transition from morning chores to afternoon freedom is wonderful. You cross the last thing off your to-do list, you take a shower, and you think, okay, the rest of the day belongs to me.
For me, Saturday afternoon is often about stepping outside. After being inside an office or house all week, I need some fresh air. I often go to a nearby park. I love walking among the trees, seeing the flowers, and just listening to the birds. It is very grounding. I like parks too, but my favorite Saturday afternoon activity is running errands of a different kind, like book shopping or visiting a museum. I love going to a bookstore, grabbing a coffee, and just browsing the shelves for hours. There is no pressure to buy anything. Just looking is fun. Browsing is a great word. To browse means to look at things casually, without a clear plan to buy. It is a very relaxing way to spend an hour or two. You discover new authors or interesting topics you never thought about before. Exactly. And sometimes, if the weather is nice, I take my new book to the park and read under a tree. That is a perfect Saturday afternoon for me. Simple, quiet, and peaceful.
It sounds perfect, Jake. But what about the times when you want to see people? We cannot spend the whole weekend alone with our books and vacuum cleaners.
You are totally right, Emma. Humans are social creatures, and the weekend is the prime time for socializing. For me, Saturday night is the ultimate time to meet friends. During the week, everyone is too tired, but Saturday night is full of energy.
It really is. What do you and your friends usually do when you hang out on a Saturday night? Hang out is a common phrasal verb that just means to spend time together, casually. We do a lot of different things. Sometimes we keep it simple and just meet at a local restaurant for dinner. We catch up on each other's lives, talk about our jobs, and laugh a lot. Other times, we might go to a bar or a pub to have a drink and listen to some live music. What about you, Emma? I love dinner parties at home. Instead of going to a loud restaurant where it is hard to hear each other speak, I prefer inviting a few close friends to my apartment. Everyone brings a different dish. We call that a potluck. One person brings a salad, another brings a main dish, and someone else brings dessert. Potlucks are the best. It takes the pressure off the host because you don't have to cook everything yourself. Plus, you get to try a lot of different foods.
Yes, it is very casual and cozy. We sit around the dinner table for hours, just talking and telling stories. Sometimes we play board games after dinner, which always gets very competitive and hilarious.
Oh, I love board games, but I am a terrible loser, Emma. If I lose at a board game, I get a little sensitive. My friends always tease me about it.
It is good that you admit it, Jake. Board games can bring out the best and the worst in people, but it is all in good fun. Another thing I love to do on weekends is visit my family. My parents live about an hour away by car, so I don't see them during the week.
Visiting family is so important. Do you go see them every weekend?
Not every weekend, but usually once or twice a month. I drive down on Sunday morning. My mom always cooks a huge Sunday lunch, which is amazing. It feels like a mini holiday. We sit in the garden if the weather is nice, and my dad tells the same old jokes he has been telling for 20 years. Classic dad jokes. You have to love them. My family lives further away, in a different city, so I cannot visit them every weekend. But I always make sure to call them on Sunday afternoons. We have a long video call, and I get to see my nieces and nephews growing up. It is a nice routine.
Video calls are a lifesaver when family is far away. It keeps you connected. Now, besides socializing and family, weekends are also the perfect time for hobbies and learning new skills. Is there anything you are trying to learn right now, Jake?
Actually, yes. I started learning to play the guitar a few months ago. During the week, it is hard to find time to practice, but on weekends, I dedicate at least an hour to it. I watch tutorials online and try to practice my chords. I am not very good yet. My fingers still hurt, but I enjoy the process.
That is wonderful. Learning an instrument takes patience, but it is so rewarding. For me, my weekend hobby is baking. I love baking bread and cakes. There is something very therapeutic about kneading dough. It requires your full attention, so you forget about all your worries.
And the best part about baking is that you get to eat your hobby afterwards. That is a win-win situation.
It really is. My neighbors love me because I often share my creations with them. I cannot eat a whole cake by myself. Well, I could, but I shouldn't. Sharing is caring, Emma. Feel free to bring some of those baked goods to the studio next time. But, we have talked about indoor hobbies. What about outdoor activities and exercise? Do you exercise on weekends?
I try to stay active. On Saturday or Sunday morning, I often go for a long bicycle ride. There is a beautiful bike path near my house that goes along the river. It is a great workout, but because the scenery is so beautiful, it doesn't feel like hard work. It feels like an adventure.
I prefer hiking. If I have a completely free Saturday, I love to drive out to the mountains or a nature reserve. Hiking for a few hours really clears my head. The air is fresh, there is no city noise, no traffic, no pollution. It is just nature.
Hiking is amazing for stress relief. It reminds us that there is a big, beautiful world outside of our offices and computers.
Absolutely. But after a long hike, or a bike ride, or a night out with friends, you eventually need some entertainment. For me, Saturday or Sunday night is movie night. I love going to the cinema, buying a large bucket of popcorn, and getting lost in a good story.
I love movies too, but I am more of a streaming fan. I love to binge watch a good TV series on the weekend. To binge watch means to watch multiple episodes of a show, one after another, for a long time. Oh, I am guilty of binge watching too. You tell yourself just one more episode,
And suddenly it is 2 o'clock in the morning and you have watched the whole season.
Yes, it is dangerous, but so addictive. The weekend is the only time you can really do that without feeling too guilty about waking up tired the next day.
Well, Emma, we have covered mornings, afternoons, chores, and social lives. Now we find ourselves in the final part of the weekend, Sunday evening. This is a very specific time of the week. The weekend is ending, and Monday is just around the corner.
Yes, Sunday evening definitely has a unique atmosphere. As we mentioned earlier, some people experience the Sunday scaries. This is a modern expression that describes that feeling of anxiety or nervousness you get on Sunday evening when you realize the weekend is over and you have to go back to work or school the next day.
I used to get the Sunday scaries really badly at my old job. I would start feeling stressed as early as Sunday afternoon. But I have learned some ways to manage it, and now I use Sunday evening for pure relaxation and preparation.
Preparation is key to fighting that anxiety. If you are prepared for the week ahead, you feel more in control. For example, one thing I do on Sunday evening is plan my outfits for the week. It sounds simple, but it saves me so much time and stress on Monday morning.
That is actually a very smart tip. I don't plan my outfits, but I do plan my calendar. I spend about 15 minutes looking at my schedule for the upcoming week. I check my meetings, my tasks, and my goals. It helps me mentally prepare, so I am not surprised on Monday morning.
Exactly. Another popular weekend activity for preparation is meal prepping. To meal prep means to prepare meals or ingredients in advance for the week. Some people spend Sunday afternoon cooking large portions of food, like soups, rice, or roasted vegetables, and putting them into containers.
My sister does that. She cooks everything on Sunday, and then she doesn't have to cook at all from Monday to Friday. It saves a lot of time and money, and it helps you eat healthily. I am too lazy to do a full meal prep, but I try to at least make sure I have enough food for Monday's lunch.
Every little bit helps. But after the preparation is done, Sunday evening should be about calm and relaxation. It is time to wind down. To wind down means to relax after a period of work or excitement.
To wind down, I love taking a long hot bath or shower. I put on my most comfortable clothes, like sweatpants and a soft t-shirt. Comfort is my #1 priority on a Sunday night.
Absolutely. Sunday night is all about comfort. For me, the perfect way to wind down is reading a book. I turn off the television, put my phone in another room, and read for an hour before bed. It calms my mind down and helps me sleep much better.
Disconnecting from technology is so important, especially on Sunday night. If you are looking at your phone, checking work emails, or reading stressful news, your quality of sleep will be terrible.
Very true. We need to create a boundary between our weekend and our work week. This brings us to the bigger picture: work-life balance. Work-life balance is the relationship between the time you spend doing your job and the time you spend with your family or doing things you enjoy.
It is something a lot of people struggle with. In our modern world, we are always connected. Work can easily bleed into our personal time, but the weekend is our line in the sand. It is our boundary. Protecting your weekend is protecting your happiness.
Well said, Jake. A good weekend makes you a better worker, a better student, and a happier person overall. It gives you perspective. You remember that you work to live. You do not live to work.
Exactly. Your job is what you do. It is not who you are. The weekend is when we get to be our true selves, pursuing our passions, resting our bodies, and loving our families.
So, as this weekend and this podcast episode comes to an end, we want to encourage all our listeners to reflect on their own weekend habits. How do you spend your weekends? Do you like to sleep in, or do you wake up early? Are you a couch potato or an active hiker?
We would love to hear your stories. Practice your English by writing a comment below about your typical weekend routine. What is your favorite thing to do on a Saturday afternoon? How do you fight the Sunday scaries?
Writing about your life is a fantastic way to practice your vocabulary and grammar. And remember, learning English is a journey. Be patient with yourself, keep listening, and enjoy the process.
Thank you so much for joining us today on English Cat. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to our channel, give this video a thumbs up, and share it with your friends who are also learning English.
Have a wonderful, relaxing weekend, everyone, whenever it comes. See you in the next episode. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone. Take care.